Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
Psych.
Yeah, you thought.
So this is going to be a special edition of Sit, Talk, Listen without the host, the point guard, the point god, Bob, Payroll Rob, Menigman.
The man himself.
Instead, we have two guests, hopefully not guests in the future, but that is Brady and Matt. Matt and Brady are here for Bob's bachelor party, and we are live.
Thanks for having me.
If you had any questions as to why Bob is not present, Nick just let the cat out of the bag there. The old bachelor party got him.
Yeah, so going into this weekend, Bob didn't really know much, but he said he wanted to record a pod during the bachelor party. That was a full intent all day. He came and hooked all this stuff up and got a joint in him after the Blues game.
Well, jump.
And good night, Jim Kite. So that's Bob's whereabouts right now. We tried to get him to rally for a good 45 minutes, peer pressuring.
Peer pressure was heavy. We were throwing everything we could at him, and he just he's tapped out, man. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, so in the process of getting this, we came down here. First obstacle was reached when Bob's password was a fingerprint. Upon minimal research, we found there was another option. In the second try to hack into his computer, access was granted.
Nailed it.
So, anybody else have their perception or recaps of how today's gone until today?
No, I was thinking about the janky situation we find ourselves in here because Bob is the point god on this. He's the expert.
He is.
So we're bootlegging the hell out of this thing. Like we pulled audio from an old one for the intro. We can hear ourselves through the speakers right now, which is not optimal, I'm sure.
Yeah, my microphone's for like conferences.
We're actually set up in a Drury Inn right now.
Matt's over here rocking a mic that is not visible to my eyes right now.
But yeah, man, Bob came out firing today for sure. He had plans. He came down here, set all this up. He was ready to roll. And then, I think, like you said, that last little J.
Put the baby away.
Yeah.
So he's upstairs right now in a...
Passed out in a very uncomfortable chair.
Yeah, it's like a swivel chair, and he stood up a couple times and just...
He's like 50% of the way to falling out of the chair.
Is he really?
Yeah, it's like...
Sliding out?
It's like this.
Nice.
There is a 30% chance we're going to weekend that Bernie's his ass down here halfway through the pod. We'll see.
I was about to say there's like a 14% chance that he hears us doing this and flies down here in a rage. We'll see.
This will be great. I know, like, I think it's going to be funny, the whole aspect of getting this together and doing this, but yeah. I look forward to his reaction. And you guys might not ever hear this.
Yeah, there's a very strong possibility this never sees the light of day. But that's fine,
Honestly,
man.
I'd be shocked if anyone ever does.
But we will.
And that's not even just the typical low listener base of the podcast that I'm talking about.
Shots fired.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Shout out to
and there goes our match sponsorship.
Shout out to the 9 that stay strong.
You don't have to be sponsored to say you're sponsored.
Oh, we have done that approach. We I think we went
by Bud Select.
It is.
Yeah, I mean right now Stag
99 calories, only 3.1 grams of carbs per can. Bud Select.
Brewed in the loo.
Brewed in and for the loo.
Right now, so we have a heavy beverage sponsorship right now because we did have Yoo-Hoo come on board.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Yes, so thank you to Yoo-Hoo.
Chocolate water.
I was going to say, have you seen that Yoo-Hoo's just chocolate syrup mixed with water?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to home brew some of that shit.
It didn't work out?
It's like the equivalent of how this podcast will sound, how we did.
It's just a little off.
Something's off about this one.
Yeah, Bob brings the chocolate drink. and we bring that chocolate stink. But we're here, dude. We're doing it.
Yeah, zero show prep going into this. The only thing, the conference mic just fell. Shit. They're escorting us out of the jury right now. Carrying the mic with us.
We're good. We're good.
All set.
We can cut that.
Nah, fuck it. We're
Nothing will be cut.
Nothing gets cut.
We're fucking Eddie
This is
Murphy
live,
raw,
baby.
dude.
Hell yeah. But yeah, no show prep whatsoever. Our plan is to kind of recap the Bachelor situation.
Oh, I'm pounding a
Yeah,
a
my
Bud
man's
Select
over here,
proud
Bud
sponsor.
selecting.
Yes.
Also, we are the first joint beer sponsorship because we're also sponsored by.
Yeah, we're running with Stag this weekend. Golden quality since 1851, brewed right in, if I remember correctly, Belleville, Illinois. Let's see, La Crosse, Wisconsin. Whoa,
I
never
appreciate
mind.
them emptying out that jar of coins they have at the office for this sponsorship for us.
It's good of them. I pretty much keep Stag going by myself, and I can only get Stag when I'm at home. So that's like once a year, twice a year, tops. So you're welcome, Stag.
I'm just thinking of a
Sponsor the show.
yes, and this will be out, Stag. So please don't pull that jar of coins.
Yeah, don't do that for me.
We are going to Hatch tomorrow for breakfast, so stay tuned. Hopefully, that will be one day our first not real sponsorship. These are very
These
real.
are very real, yeah.
Yes.
These are serious.
But yeah,
First consensual sponsorship.
yes, there you go.
We don't. As of like 2.5 weeks ago, is consent even a thing? Either way. I don't have to get into that.
So, Matt got in yesterday, like 1 o'clock our time, and
Something like that.
we went over a wild goose chase trying to find Savies.
Yeah. Yeah. Took a lap around the mall.
Nice.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
haven't changed much in the past 30 years of being malls.
So we eventually found it. We got back, had a little lunch with the bachelor boy. Then he had to go. He was doing he was working a gig for a David Bowie cover band at the S.T.L.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But
Like,
it
that's
was
a
like
solid
an
gig.
orchestra. It wasn't just like a cover band.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was like highbrow stuff, John.
Like one of the ladies played like bass on something
Oh yeah.
for David Bowie, not just
Oh,
other shit.
dude.
And the
Okay.
St. Louis Symphony Orchestra was there.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool
Our
stuff.
boys making moves, yeah.
Yeah, and
No
and,
Mick Ronson, which is the coolest of the Spiders from Mars, but
Absolutely.
you know, is what it is.
but that's what we're dealing with here. But while he was doing that, Brady came in from Las Vegas, which was a surprise to Bob. So
Yeah, we kept it under wraps. I think all of us like almost let it slip a couple times. But we managed to keep it under wraps.
Yeah. We got to learn to navigate St. Louis's horseshit airport.
It's bad.
Not a sponsor.
No. It won't be a sponsor.
Never will be.
if they come crawling to me, I'll,
Maybe.
no, I'll make them kiss my feet and then say, nope, lips were too rough.
I like it.
How hard is it to ask that the signs point where they say they're going?
I think that would be just like the first step.
Yeah. It's like what signs are for.
It was a logistical nightmare.
It was. Yeah, it was nasty. And being used to Vegas now, I've been talking up like, yeah, I love cold weather. It's great. I can't wait to go home and experience some like gray, shitty weather because I miss it. But then I stepped outside for like 4 seconds and I was like, this is horrifying. I hate it.
What a fool.
So that's where we're at. Yeah. Reconsidering all of the things.
So, but last night Brady introduced us to we're working on the sponsorship for Bamboo.
Oh, yeah. Bamboo Rum. Brought to you by Wheezy F, baby. The F is for fucking please sponsor this podcast.
If it's for free advertising.
Yes.
Payola.
But yeah, man, Bamboo, if you haven't had it, a nice rum, Lil Wayne's rum. It's got a nice little banana taste to it. I don't think it's on purpose. It just kind of tastes like that. It's really good. So if you haven't tried it, hit your local package store. Lil Wayne, look at the work I'm doing.
Yeah, and if you're watching the
was
Super
good.
Bowl tomorrow, maybe try Kendrick's rum. But
I honestly feel like you just put more effort into talk about Lil Wayne's rum than Lil Wayne ever has.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't think he really involves himself with it a
Like
whole
he's
lot.
embarrassed by it.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. It's a
No, it's
fantastic
good.
product.
What are we doing?
Just
He's just never talked about it.
yeah, it's weird. If he would have been on the Super Bowl, I bet he would have.
Lil Wayne, if you happen to listen to this podcast, I'm sorry.
I bet he would have.
Well, he was going to.
We met a guy that you filmed a music video at his house one time in New Orleans.
On
shoot.
I
Louis
feel
Armstrong
like we're
Street.
friends. I feel like I can talk to you.
Close
this way.
personal,
Lil
yeah.
Wayne.
It was sick. Like
He
we
said
just
you were nice, but you cussed too much in front of his daughter. Just if
Yeah.
you're
You gotta-
open to feedback.
You got to cut that out, Wheezy.
But he did say Birdman was putting him in line, but I feel like also like we could have opened that can of worms up a little more, maybe.
That's true.
Yeah.
But also, it was in public in the middle of the day, and we don't really want to know what kind of line Birdman was keeping Lil Wayne in at the time.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Yeah, well, poor Wheezy, but you know he's doing good right now. Unlike the Bachelor of the weekend.
Rough.
So fast forward to today. Start off with a couple Bloody Marys, but anyway, we're gonna get to one of the highlights of this weekend, and that's we're at Cyberg's. And if you guys don't know, there's this ass hat named the Towel Man.
Oh, we're doing this?
The towel guy.
We're talking about this?
Yeah,
Okay.
You guys all know if you're Blues fans, or if you're not, we are the official podcast of the
St. Louis Blues, yeah.
herd movement. But anyways, we're at Cyberg's. You look a little to the left, and there's the towel guy. He's sitting there, and he has he literally is sponsored by Cyberg's, so he gets to go in there before every home game, and he gets a $50 tab on them, and he has this little thing that says "Reserved for Towel Guy" at his table. And I was
Towel Man.
Towel Man.
Yeah, show some fucking respect.
It's not just some
Towel
guy.
guy.
Yeah, it's not just some
Towel
guy.
boy.
Fetch Gatorade or something.
So I was just sharing my
Towel Man.
experiences with the towel pal.
Towel pal Antonio. I know, I saw our eyes locked.
One day when he franchises, they're all the towel pals. Well, he can't come to every game.
The towel pals. So I was just like telling him this guy's an absolute asshat. When I served him back in my days at working at that same Cyberg's, just very full of himself to the extent where he came in one time running late. So we were like on an hour and a half wait. People were sitting at his table, and he was like, "I'm the towel guy or towel man." He said,
He didn't say guy.
and he basically said, "Oh, it's right
He does
fucking
say,
here."
yeah. Spoiler alert. We know for sure it's
Studio.
Towel Man.
But anyways, and he says like, "I get a table here every home game, $50 tab," and was like asking us to kick these guys out of seats because he was running late. And I was like, fuck this guy. Long story short, well, long story a little shorter.
Yeah, medium.
Medium story.
Yeah, Matt did finesse this reserve for the Towel Man sign, and he no longer has residency at Cyber.
Yeah, good
that's
luck
ours
getting a
now.
seat now, big dog.
Yeah. Oh, I swear I have a sign.
I'm the towel guy.
Maybe I'm the only asshole who doesn't know anything about St. Louis culture. But for those of you who don't know, what's like the towel man's whole deal outside of literally just like waving a towel? Like, do you know his origin story?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how
As
did
a
this
Blues
happen?
fan, that's part of your guys' whole thing. So, yeah.
I don't know the origin story as much as it's since I can remember, and
Yeah.
I've been going to Blues games since '98. Like,
His parents were killed by a rogue towel.
He became what he feared most.
at Payne Enterprises,
We didn't even hit the joint, man.
and so this is great podcasting. Just laughing into the mic.
Good process,
Start a
boys.
podcast is to laugh at your own jokes.
Yeah, that's really it.
As early as I can remember, going to the games when the Blues score. He's sixth in section 314.
Right,
314,
of course, yeah.
obviously. And say we score 3 goals. 1, 2.
Since this is an audio medium, Nick is spinning a towel.
Yeah,
while
he had
says that.
Petey Pablo'd that thing.
I'm spinning,
So imagine a towel being spun.
and he's spinning it in the air over his head like fucking Woody from Toy Story with a lasso. 1, 2, 3, throws the towel. The crowd.
The crowd loses it.
They do. They go.
It's a thing.
And so I don't know well, I guess you just enlightened us on the origin, but
Yeah.
his parents were killed by a...
Yeah, so that's official canon now.
So
But I mean,
don't mention the parents. It's a touchy subject. Just thank him for his service.
yeah,
Move
I
on.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
I just like to think of like the towel guy's parents just being towel whipped to death in like a
Think
fucking
of how
lie.
many wet bar tops there would be without Towel Man out there. How many clammy hands would be shaken without Towel Man?
Real American hero.
Today we salute you.
And his boy wonder, the washcloth.
Part of the Towel Pals. The extended Towel Guy universe.
How much business did he lose to the fucking ShamWow?
Ooh, I bet he hates
Oh,
that guy.
yeah, Billy Mays. That's why he's... I'm not going to
Well, the
implicate...
ShamWow guy is the guy that got... Wait,
Oh, he got popped.
He
Yeah.
got a hooker.
Didn't he get
Yeah,
beat
that's
up by a
right.
hooker?
Yeah,
Or
he did.
Or did he beat up the hooker? I don't know.
I mean, either way, not great.
I don't mean to,
Cast
slander
aspersions.
him if that's
Right.
not true.
No, it's true.
We're not looking for any lawsuits, all right?
Let's see. Is it
Got to make sure we get our facts straight.
is
So
it
we're having the
uncouth
producer
that
pull this up.
Google?
No, it's just the producer. We
Dang,
got it.
he's
Yeah.
60. That's
And as Bob would
crazy.
say-
See, yeah, Towel Guy's going to have to, it's going to have to let off on this at some point, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We've just gone so far into Towel Guy. This is...
I thought that's what this was.
This is
Welcome to the Towelcast.
No, but one time I ran into the towel guy. I was like 8. My dad and I went to a matinee game, and the Blues won like 8-0 against Vancouver.
Man.
And I run into him, and at the time I'm like, "Oh, this local celebrity."
Right, yeah,
So
he's
I'm
a-
pumped, and I'm like, "Hey, can I get an autographed towel?" And he was out because we had scored 8 goals. Wasn't
Right.
expecting that, so he signed a napkin and gave it to me. Fast forward to my time serving him at Cyberg's. I'm telling him this story, and the end of the night comes around, and he says, "Hey, hold on, I got something for you." Runs out to his car, and then in place of a tip, he hands me an autographed towel at 28 years old.
Fucking asshole.
I bet in his mind he was like making your childhood dreams come true, so he probably felt like real solid about himself. Like he was feeling
Instead
good.
of bad that your childhood dreams involved receiving a
A
towel.
towel from a man.
It's like the childhood dreams of third world countries.
Like, a man gave me a towel today.
And it wasn't even.
I'll cherish it.
It was not a dream. Like even if he did that, by that night, I'm like, I cannot wait for the next Raw. But so
Right,
it wouldn't have been
right.
like, oh,
Yeah.
goals or anything. It was just like,
No, I understand. Like he's part of the Blues lore, man. It makes sense. He's inserted himself into this storied franchise, and
Inserted himself. It seemed. Speaking of inserting himself, you want to hear about this ShamWow guy? Because the wormhole of his Wikipedia is crazy. At one point, he was sued by a former personal assistant because he offered her $20,000 in exchange for her eggs.
I mean, I know inflation is real, but God.
eggs are expensive, but brother,
Yeah, it doesn't say how many she still had.
a dozen, I hope.
And then, so the 26-year-old prostitute bit his tongue and refused to let go. Oh, and then it gets sad. Then he punched her in the face.
Oh, shoot.
But it's okay because he said that experience probably saved his life. So,
Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom. Yeah.
She took one for the team, and now whatever his name is,
Yeah, let's give this guy some fucking respect.
Yeah.
Vince Offer.
Vince Offer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hell of a name for a salesman, too.
Yeah.
That's really good,
That
yeah.
can't be real.
But that was an offer she refused.
Yeah, she did refuse that offer. Rough.
Well, he dropped out of high school.
But yeah, so we stole the towel guy's shit, basically, is what we're trying to tell you.
I wish we had
Long-winded.
video. Like right now.
Yeah. If this podcast had video, we could show you. It's a nice little sign that they had made up for this guy,
Yeah.
and now it's
Man.
ours. Man,
It's
yeah, this
man.
man, yeah.
The Towel man.
So long story here. The moral of the story, anyway, is don't be a dick. Tip your waiters. What are you doing?
And any other time besides that, he did tip 20%, but he was getting a free $50 tab.
Right.
And also, if you need a sign saying a table's reserved for you, is it really that reserved for you in the first place?
It's true.
That is a great point.
That is a good point. Well, it's not now.
And I can tell you the table he had tonight is not the table he had back then.
Yikes.
Did he get downgraded, or is it a better table?
Oh, no, he got downgraded. One was in the corner, too. It was a big table.
Oh, shoot. So he had, like, the VIP in there, and now
America's
they just
lost
got him at
its
some
way.
random table?
Yeah.
We no longer respect our towel men and women.
That's what's wrong with America.
Can you imagine competing towel guy? Like, if I go to, like, a lower section with beach towels. Every time the Blues score, hey, and I just get louder. I'm fucking waving this big ass beach towel over my head.
Yeah, speaking of beach, the Blackhawks took another L tonight.
Oh, good.
Rough.
Good transition.
Yeah, man. I'm the Blackhawks fan, but I have respect for the Blues, even though I hate them deeply. It's a storied franchise. I was happy for them when they won the Cup a few years back. I get it. But rough for me tonight. Got to watch my boys fumble in the longest shootout I've ever seen in my life. That was crazy.
10 rounds.
10 rounds.
I've been told that's long.
That's what Jamie said.
This was your second hockey game, right? First or second?
Second NHL.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Got to see I'm going to go ahead and go on record and say it's the longest shootout that ever was. There's never been a shootout longer than this.
And we were in attendance.
Yeah, we were there for history. I'm not going to look that up because I'm right.
And it was all for Bob's bachelor party.
I will look it up, but I will not comment.
Yeah, don't say if I was wrong.
you
Because
guys
I'm
can
sure I am. I'm sure there's been like a 40-rounder or
Just
some
know that
silly
we're not
shit.
just out here saying bullshit to check.
Yeah, we
We just
yeah.
don't tell you what the outcome was of that checking.
But, man, it was a good game. 5 goals apiece before we got to the shootout. That was fun.
Yeah.
I remain over. Did we witness history?
No. It is crazy. I mean, I am going to read it because that was
How
very
long's
long.
the longest one?
It was.
Were we close?
Doesn't
It was
seem
double
like it.
tonight.
Double 20
That
in an
seems-
NHL
that
game?
seems too long.
On December 16th, 2014, the longest shootout in NHL history went to 20 rounds before Nick Bukestad of the Florida Panthers scored to defeat the Washington Capitals. Every skater on a team's roster must shoot before any player can shoot a second time.
I was just about to ask, did they like rotate through the guys at that point, or
They're about to call
has
in
made
their
it to the
fucking
bottom,
towel, man.
Right? Because there's 18.
yeah,
Yeah.
dang, yeah, because Bukestad ain't no like scrub.
So, yeah, we were just talking about that on the Whoops. Wow. Little piece of history. Put that in your back pocket.
That's crazy. Yeah, learn things on this show.
Right? Who says this show's not smart? Some people are smarter than
John.
hosts of this show. I don't know anybody smarter than hosts of this show.
No, well, John Rennick.
I mean, we know one.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of tonight, we will do an impromptu Mount Rushmore later, and it's going to be the Mount Rushmore of things that Bob has missed.
Ooh,
Like
that's gonna
tonight
be a
or
good
in
one.
life?
Well, no, in life.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll
That
be a
might
good
get
one.
kind of heavy.
No, we'll keep it
Birth of
light.
his first child, or
We'll keep it light, but things
Okay.
things that well, maybe we'll just do the Mount Rushmore of Bob.
oh man, yeah. Ode to Bob is the title of the show. So I mean,
Yeah, we will do the Mount Rushmore, not of things Bob's missed, but just the Mount Rushmore of Bob moments.
but yeah, man, good time tonight. Cybergs, the game, slid back over here, had some fun, chopped it up for a while, and then Bob hit his peak, hit his limit.
At 11:14.
That's
Time of death.
generous. He was spiraling out an hour before he was
Yeah,
full
that's
on
true.
asleep.
Yeah, I was
Pretty
just-
much as soon as we got back here, he was.
And just for a little more picture painting, we all stopped. We were kind of on a downward trajectory, the three of us, but we were like, we got to rally for Bob. So we stopped at Quick Trip, got the caffeine of choice, and here we are at
Kicking.
12:30 Central Time. Okay, and I'm going to when you arrive back.
Yeah, a little bathroom break for this show.
So, what do you think of that Mount Rushmore? Do you think we can come up with some
I mean, I think we can. I think we've all got real good memories with Bob.
And it doesn't mean it has to be like pleasant for everybody involved, because I have one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So this will be some fun. And again, we apologize for the unprofessionalism to our sponsors and to our listeners for kind of being all over the place. But we felt this was a necessity.
Yeah, we felt like we had to get this in. Logistically, tomorrow is going to be an insane time for Matt trying to get home, and we're trying to brunch, as far as I know. So
At
Hatched sponsor.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. But yeah, so tomorrow was just not going to work. I know Bob's going to be kicking himself.
Yeah, he's gonna be upset.
I mean, there still is a chance that like if we just keep rambling on enough, like Bob's going to burst down here like the fucking Kool-Aid man.
I think he will. I think at some point Bob's either going to wake up and come down here. Maybe Matt going to the bathroom rouses him a little bit, or when you get up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Bob will maybe make an appearance in the show. But if he doesn't, we wanna do right by Bob.
Yeah, of course. And this wouldn't be possible without him getting all this
Absolutely
hooked up.
not. Yeah.
So
I worked in radio for a decade, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this program. So Bob just makes it look easy. Bob just sits down and makes it go. Missing our point guard right now.
I know, dude. I know. Like Dallas.
Just like Dallas. You going to get into the upsetting Lakers news that we found out at the game tonight?
I will, but I haven't been on here to discuss the other one. I'll try to keep it short.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going to go piss, and I'm going to come back and just talk about that. This will be kind of interesting. You two are gonna, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing what I missed.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk.
Yeah. We're taking over your podcast. It's
Yeah.
Mutiny.
You're done, actually. I would like to hear more about the Hawaiian records you're talking about. I want to know more about that.
Okay, so this guy, his name is Arthur Lyman. I think that's probably
Like any relation to Freddie Lyman? Probably not, I guess.
I don't know. But yeah, he was born in Hawaii, and let's see, he died in 2002. But in like the 50s and 60s, he did a bunch of, it's called exotica. So it's like basically like the music that you'd hear at like a tiki bar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of like cool percussion. It's not like Hawaiian like slide steel guitar. So
Right, yeah,
that's
not like
also real
island.
cool. Yeah, not like SpongeBob soundtrack.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's cool. Lots of like, he was like a vibraphone player. So like big xylophone basically.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But yeah, has cool percussion in it. And yeah, some of these St. Louis record stores had some of his stuff in stock from like the only time they've ever been
were
released
pressed,
was
yeah.
when they came out. So, some 60-year-old records that, I'm picking up on my way home tomorrow.
Yeah, that's awesome. The only reason I remember the name Frankie Lyman, the most racist kid in our class when I was in high school looked like white Frankie Lyman, like exactly.
Oh, nice. Cool.
And I pointed it out to him eventually because I figured it out, and he was in shambles for like a week about it. It was so funny. But yeah, he definitely spitting image of Frankie Lyman.
Nice. Honestly, I could see how a white version of this Frankie Lyman guy would be the most racist kid in your class.
Yeah, he was levels beyond a lot of the kids. He was it was wild. He's in jail now, I think.
No, well, he's
Unsurprising.
doing better than the real Frankie Lyman. He died at 25.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Did he die horribly? Is this?
Yeah, I don't think it was good if I remember correctly.
Just an overdose.
That's fine then.
That's fine.
Also, one of the craziest videos you ever see is Frankie Lyman's introduced to some crowd, and he goes out there and he sings his little itty bitty pretty one song, and it's a hit, and everybody's fucking pumped. Except then you see a bunch of white people oh, I didn't realize. Oh. So it's video of it, and it's oh.
I feel like that's been kind of redone in the movie, right?
Has it?
For some parody of that, right? That's.
I mean, it's right
together?
for parody. Yeah,
We're talking 50s music, maybe.
Yeah, it was 50s.
Okay, that's hilarious, though.
Yeah, it was they heard the song, they loved it. Yeah, it's our jam, and then they see him and oh,
it was like Clayton Bigsby taking off the mask.
It kind of was, yeah.
That's great.
But yeah, man, no Bob yet. The 2 bathroom breaks didn't.
No.
How's he looking up there?
No, he's done.
He's gone. Nah.
He is not stirring.
Alas.
He's still in the same chair that we left him in, which is just, it
looks insanely uncomfortable. Like, I know that man's going to be hurting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially when he hears his radio gold.
Yeah, knowing that he is now the odd man out of this
Sorry,
situation.
Bob.
Sorry. There's only 3 seats down here, even though it's his basement.
Not anymore.
Yeah, this is our basement now, baby.
It's a goddamn takeover.
That's true.
Break's over.
I've heard that's how it works. The best podcast, record in a house, becomes the owner of the deed of the house.
Sorry, Jamie.
Citizens of Colonial.
So watch out. Because we just bought a new tape recorder and we're driving around tomorrow.
Ooh.
Trying to
like
get
it.
some property.
Free real estate.
What if that is how it worked? What if this is squatting, podcast squatting?
Ooh.
Oh,
that'd
man.
be
Is there
fun.
laws for that yet?
These are it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, squatters' rights. We're taking
Record
over.
from a closed down Dollar General.
One city at a time.
Most streamed podcast episode, the co-host of that show becomes the host.
Ooh. It's like Highlander.
Yeah, there can only be one.
So get those numbers up. Share this one. I never asked to do that, but we got this is an ode to Bob.
Yeah, this is a tribute to the man himself.
Yeah.
On,
Also, you wanted to talk about Luca, so if anybody wants to mute their phone for the next 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah, what is
we'll try and
the
give
skip
some
buttons
sort
like
of sign.
10 seconds at a time?
Yeah.
Warning. If you have kids in the car, there will be potential glazing, finishing, weird sounds in the next 10 minutes. So since Bob and I last recorded, the NBA trade deadline has came and went. And boy, did it. So it was, about a week ago, Bobby Shmurda. And I'm sitting there, and Brant calls me at like 11:30. My phone's on Do Not Disturb.
Of course.
And I was like, what the hell could this be?
Yeah, like-
And I answer, and he says, you guys got fucking Luca. And I was like, all right, stop kidding. Like,
Right, come on, man. It's 11:30, trying to sleep.
And he says, why the fuck would I be calling you at 11:30?
It's a good point.
Yeah,
Inappropriate.
Brant brings up a solid point there.
Yes. So I was like immediately just frantically like couldn't get on fucking the app formerly known as Twitter quick enough. And I'm looking at Shams and like everybody
Is that because
collectively.
your mom works at a Jewish hospital?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Elon's like,
Then they ought to let you right on.
And I was. But like everybody else, I thought like Shams has been hacked. No. The Lakers got Luka Doncic in exchange for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2031 first-round pick.
and they got Maxi Kleber, too, who isn't like a scrub by any stretch.
Yeah, we did. We got Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris.
Also, that 2031 pick is for a 12-year-old right now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wild. So I spent the next 2 hours up to like,
I was going to say, how do you sleep after that?
dude, it was
Yeah.
a child. My mind was everywhere.
Yeah.
And even then, like the following days, I'm just on YouTube, just looking at Luka highlights. Anybody who had any take on it, I'm watching. I mean, this is collectively the most shocking trade in sports history, maybe.
I feel like it is.
I think it's up there. I mean, this is a guy who's 25, who's like right now the third all-time leader in points per game. Again, at 25 years old. And they got him for, I mean, it was peanuts, man.
Yeah. You trade him and then you call him fat on his way out.
Right.
Yeah, we could do a whole podcast on this. So I'm just
rude
doing
on, like,
clip
a
notes.
human
Yeah, yeah.
level.
But I mean, Mavericks fans were comparing it to the JFK assassination.
Yeah, if you're wondering what the temp in Dallas is right now.
And not as favorably as you would think that
Yeah,
they were referring
no.
to the JFK assassination. They meant it like it was a bad thing.
So it's nuts. The streets are hot in Dallas. So they had a funeral for Luka Doncic. I mean, this is just all time. He hasn't even played a game yet for the Lakers, and it's literally all the NBA could talk about. I mean, he'll be lacing him up Monday against the Jazz, who are just irrelevant. like irrelevant as actual jazz music is in Utah, that's how relevant the basketball team is right now.
I could go for at least 20 minutes on how I hate that the Utah Jazz are a franchise, but I will not. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Irrelevant, dumbest franchise in sports.
And my money's on this will be the most watched NBA regular season game this year.
I believe you're absolutely correct.
That makes sense.
So, hot topic. I try to limit my glazing.
Thought you did good.
Sorry.
Right up until then, I thought you did great.
Sorry.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
So, we're pumped. We're pumped over in Laker Nation. There was another trade. We traded for a big man, Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets. Just fly through this real quick. This happened 2 days ago, and we're leaving the Blues game today. I get an update. Like, we traded basically for Mark Williams the pieces that
Should have went for Luka.
in addition to, yes. We were able to get Mark Williams, a big man, after we traded ours, and it turns out that he just failed his physical, so that trade is null void.
What you didn't know is that the Hornets are like the no credit check required used car lot of the NBA.
That feels right. That feels accurate.
We'll give you this, but
You got to check the Carfax.
30% APR, baby.
So that is the current state of the NBA, and probably the most we've ever talked on the NBA since the last time.
Since the Klay Thompson episode.
Oh, yeah. Which was our infamous first guest, which was Brady.
wow,
Who's no longer a guest on the show.
what's that mean?
Yeah.
This
This is news to me.
No,
you want me to leave?
We just talked about this. You guys are no longer guests. You guys are
Oh yeah, that's true. We do
co-hosts.
have squatters'
Oh,
rights.
that's true.
Jeez.
Bob's the guest now.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will have our fourth guest next podcast when
Bob comes back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how he does.
And then we'll be reverted back to guests.
Oh.
If he does well.
Yeah, I mean we got to give him a trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Based on my times listening to this, I'm not too scared, but
Yeah, I'm not worried. No, but Bob's fantastic, man.
Fucking the funeral of
Just roast the shit out of Bob the rest of the time. We're like, we're gonna honor Bob.
I mean, I'm right there with them in this. I'm catching fucking strays, dog. I'm catching strays like I work for the animal control team.
Man, nets out.
Man. So we don't have to make this incredibly long. Do you guys have anything off the top of your head right now we could do for the Mount Rushmore of the best Bob moments? And are we going to draft style? Or are we going to...
I think we did a
like
little snake draft.
sounds
Yeah,
fun.
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay, so the guests obviously are going to lead this off. I'll go third, and we won't do snake. We'll go...
We'll just go.
we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So
I feel like I'm on the spot now. Shoot.
right.
first one of you guys to come up with the first moment will be the first pick.
Gotcha.
Well, we talked about at my bachelor party when he sang karaoke and got booed off the stage. I picked that one
That is a fantastic moment. Yeah.
because it's rare to see somebody get booed off the stage
At karaoke.
Even rarer to see somebody who's doing pretty well at the karaoke get booed off stage. It was just his pure Cardinals fan unlikability that got him booted.
Yeah, this was in Cincinnati, mind you. So.
Yeah.
Do you want to paint the picture of what happened?
Yeah, so we went to a Reds game in Cincinnati, and then afterwards, shout out to Tokyo Kitty in Cincinnati. It's a apparently Japanese style karaoke bar. Like you can rent karaoke rooms, and a little robot brings you drinks. But they also just have like an open space. But yeah, Bob went up there, and I don't know, started talking about something to do with the Cardinals. So the crowd got disgruntled quickly.
Yeah.
But then he broke into Backstreet Boys. What song?
Everybody.
That one.
While he was like doing that, everybody.
Yeah, and traditionally everybody's like, yeah.
Right. They were not
Yeah.
feeling it, I
Everybody was
imagine.
more like, boo.
And
But
Bob,
he kept going the whole time. I said booed off stage. That's incorrect. He was booed until he left the stage. He finished
Bob
the
stood his
song.
ground.
Yeah. It was honestly impressive. So
there was no booing. And like if you play back, somebody in the crowd yells, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks!"
that's true.
And like a mob of people, sounding like 7 guys, just really say, like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost got in a
Shit.
scuffle
Yeah, well,
for Bob's
Defending
honor.
Bob's
yeah.
honor, yeah.
Well, because it's like that's our Bob. That's not your
Yeah,
Bob.
no, yeah, don't mess with our Bob.
Yeah.
So this guy in a fucking suit, just roided out of his mind, leather skin, tan, fucking gelled hair.
Hulk Hogan?
It was the fucking Hulk. He said, "Hey, brother." No, but this dude was basically like fucking coming at Bob all wrong, and I was like, "Hey, fuck you, dude!" And then real quick, got a little hostile and just a little split. Bob didn't even know that happened. But
Bob was oblivious. I like it.
Yeah.
Classic Bob.
Bob at bachelor parties. So
A resilient man. Like
Good.
getting booed up there like that, just
Right.
finishing it out and then cruising out like nothing happened. What a guy.
great first pick.
He like relished the booze, honestly.
I bet he did, yeah.
Even though he pretends they didn't happen now.
Yeah, he is he's revisiting history and kind of revising history.
Sometimes you gotta. I don't know.
He's telling the story now that it was just us booing.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it
And
was
then
the,
everybody else was throwing roses and shit.
they fucking carried him out of the
They
goddamn.
had to sign autographs the whole way out the door.
So that's the 1-1 moments of Bob.
Man, I think this is just a general one, but the first time I met Bob, I was in the Navy, and then I went to community college, the American dream. And Bob was like the first one at college to like talk to me and shit. So I was like, this guy seems all right. Invited me out to play football, met you guys. So, I mean, just in general, Bob being a good dude and, reaching out to the fucking weird old dude in the class. Like, hey, man, you want to come hang out? And I'm like, yeah, shit, I guess.
And that checks out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
Bob,
sure.
man.
Yeah, he really is. He is one of a kind.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. I don't know how I met him, but he 100% initiated it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
Had to
no
be
world
a-
I did.
It had to be.
Yeah,
a
I'm not an initiator of
Yeah.
friendships myself, so
Yeah, so I guess, and I'll go a little younger. We got because this is one of the things that sticks out in my mind. So me, Bob, and Grant, 7th grade basketball practice, and we're like, hey, we're gonna walk down the street, see our friend Alex. These girls are walking behind us, and it was slick out that night. It had just rained, and there's this ledge at the church. So Bob was like gonna impress these girls by jumping on this. He was gonna jump on this. He's gonna jump on this ledge from the sidewalk to impress these girls with his athletic nimbleness.
yeah.
And he immediately fucking hits the ledge, feet come out, and he falls off this wall in front of all these girls and just lands on the ground. And I literally peed my pants.
I love it.
It was one of the only times I peed my pants from laughing, and so that just moment sticks out.
Yeah,
Classic.
that's a solid
I
moment.
like that even if it had gone well, it's like how impressed with the girls are.
Really, yeah.
You know?
They wouldn't even notice.
Yeah. Best case scenario is like, wow, like that kid jumps high.
Yeah, all right, guy.
But he fucking
I
hated
guess I
it.
should get in line to suck his dick.
7th grade.
I mean, we're only a year away from maybe another moment.
Boy.
That's on the clock.
Man. I don't know. I feel like I should trade my pick to you. You have a lot more Bob moments than I do.
Aw,
you,
man.
You should have been the first overall pick.
You should, yeah.
We can't just collect.
Nah, I got a couple left. I got a couple in the chamber. I was there the first time Bob got drunk,
Nice.
which was hilarious. He waited until he's 21 because he's a good Samaritan.
Nice. But afterwards, a bit of
yeah.
a degenerate with it.
Yeah.
And that checks out.
Bob's not a guy that gives less than 100%. So once he started, boy, we're in there. I'm not saying Bob's like a drunk or anything. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
But when Bob does partake, Bob goes in, man.
The wheels come off.
Yeah.
Because my
so-
thought was when he got drunk at our job the day you and I had off work. Yeah. And he was in charge of like the safe and shit, and he was just drinking at work all day.
Attaboy.
He was the leading manager at O'Malley's.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. But yeah, I was there the first time. I was at his house, and it didn't go well.
Nice. Never
You know,
does.
it never does. First time's always rough.
Yeah.
But that was It was a precious memory for me. That's still his profile picture on my phone whenever he calls. It's still him, like, passed out, slumped on the table, as it is for many of my friends. But that was a fun moment. Just get to see a new side of Bob.
Mm-hmm. And one that would rear his head a lot.
Yeah. Again, this guy has a problem.
Bob is doing well.
Bob's good.
He's great.
Yeah. He's fine, responsible.
Yeah. Didn't even drink himself to sleep tonight.
No,
It was the
yeah,
weed
definitely
again,
not. Yeah,
we
like
said.
none of us really drank that much except for the one guy who blacked out before the game.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He soldiered through it though. He came back around by like the third period.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Norm.
Yeah,
Storm and Norman.
He got it in early.
Yeah.
And then he was cool, man. He was good after that.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit the whole shuttle situation after this. Because
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, I don't want to. I mean, some of my favorite Bob moments, he'd be pissed at me
See,
sharing.
that was what I was thinking. It's like, which
Yeah,
of
you've just
these
got,
are,
you
like,
know, your whole life of Bob moments.
common knowledge or like
Dude, gosh.
public knowledge.
All right, I'll try to keep these. I won't embarrass him too far. So there is one that sticks out that is hilarious. Should I tell it or no?
I mean, you can't just hit us with it's hilarious and then not tell us.
Okay.
Again, very low chance this never even.
Yeah,
actually
right.
gets
I mean,
released.
this is just us
So we're
bullshitting
in-
with microphones on.
We are in 5th grade, and we have these things called Alpha Smarts. And at the time, so it was like kind of changing technology for our school. And on these things that we all had in class, and we like you could type and like do your papers in this Alpha Smart and like upload it to your computer and then print it out instead
shoot.
of like writing. And we took we really took advantage of these Alpha Smarts and right away use them for nefarious acts.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
And-
children do.
So we'd be like passing. Oh man, this is 5th grade, but okay, everybody in this story was in 5th grade, so it's not inappropriate.
Yes.
I don't like.
There's this girl in our class, and we will not say her name,
Okay.
but we're
Respectful.
passing notes via Alpha Smart. Passing
Right.
Alpha Smart back and forth to each other, and somehow Bob had showed me and said something about, oh man, he said I would totally have sex with so and so girl. He said, but I would have to make sure I wrap it up because I don't want to be changing diapers.
Bob's in 5th grade.
Right, this is 5th grade, Bob Nickman.
And I start laughing and hand Bob back the Alpha Smart. The teacher sees this and was like, what are you doing? Like, let me see your Alpha Smart. Bob, in a panic, deletes the message smartly.
Yeah.
Or,
Nimble.
Then they were like, okay, what was passed? Why did you delete this? Like, they were on to us. but
Right.
They didn't know how to pull it back up.
Yikes.
So Bob's like, I'm going to get away with this. Grant Scurry, our friend, says, Miss Kaufman, I know how to make the message come back up. And pulls the Alpha Smart messages back up for the principal and the teacher of this class to read. And see that Bob had just said what he had said. And he gets in pretty big trouble for that one.
Man, Grant
Yeah,
out
it's,
here with the computer knowledge, man, early.
Right.
the
Shouts to Grant.
But also not shout out to Grant.
Yeah, that was rough, Grant. You shouldn't have, that was low, man.
Complete narked.
Yeah, that was nasty work. Can't condone the activities, but like, look at you go,
yeah,
man.
impressive.
5th grade, like,
Yeah.
Hilarious though in the context of
Yeah,
all being
absolutely.
5th grade.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about now, like 5th graders talking like that
Oh,
is just
man.
crazy.
Bob's worried about his future, not wanting a child.
always been responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Good spin.
Yeah.
Good spin. I'll try to think. Plenty of good ones.
Oh man, Bob's 30th birthday party was a time. That was a good time.
That's true.
Hell of a time.
Yeah.
True.
Well, and Jamie, who his soon-to-be bride, orchestrated that whole thing. Phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Had people flying in from
Right.
it's fucking Flat Stanley. I mean, dude, there's people coming in from Nevada, California, Montana, Saudi Arabia. This thing was nuts.
Yeah, we had a time. It was good. I flew in. You came in.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, we had
Somebody there was from Oklahoma.
I was gonna say we had someone from like Colorado or something too. I think.
Yeah, those were all legit. I got a little hyperbolic there, but
No actual Saudi
No,
Arabians,
yeah.
I don't think.
The Sheik flew in.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's just a testament to the kind of man Bob is, right? People flying from all over the country to come see this guy.
yeah,
You don't do that for just anybody.
And I promise I'm gonna have a good heartfelt one to wrap it up, but we're not there yet. So
I mean, I feel like these have been pretty nice so far.
Yeah. I mean, other
You
than
know?
we do love you, Bob.
Bob out here slanging in 5th grade or whatever.
Right.
And okay. So do you have another one in mind?
No.
He's like,
I
yeah,
know that doesn't help.
This will be just a quick one, but
Yeah.
Brady was there for it. And we were playing a pickup football game at our high school alma mater.
Yeah.
And there's a kid named Luke Hibbler who had just got a full ride track scholarship to Kansas State for hurdles. Bob decides that he will not let Luke Hibbler get past him in this pickup football game.
Yeah, competitive.
And Gator rolls him
Oh, shit.
and
Snaps his ankle.
compound fractured his
Oh,
ankle
shit.
on this pickup football game. It was the craziest.
It was insane.
I could not believe it. And Brady and I were like, oh.
Like, I've literally been to funerals that felt less like, oh, shit, than that. Like,
100%.
that was crazy.
And literally, like, this is a sliding glass doors moment for Luke. I can't speak for him. Haven't talked to him probably since then.
Oh, man.
But he lost his scholarship to Kansas State, but ended up taking a scholarship to SLU after that,
Came
where
home.
he got his law degree. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That all
Bob?
works out. Yeah, Bob. Yeah.
Now he's
Was
a
he,
lawyer with a limp.
alliteration.
Was that his path, like, previously? Like, the law thing? Or
I don't
was
know.
this like a,
I just know that's what happened.
Okay,
I don't
shoot.
know if that was his plan going to Kansas State.
like, maybe he was, like, thinking, I'm going to do the full-time track thing. Like, I'm going pro, and then
Bob,
fell back on the lawyer because
This might
Bob,
be
yeah.
an ignorant question. Is there pro track?
I mean, there has to be, right? Like, what do the dudes in the Olympics do, like, when they're not running track in the Olympics? Like, the guys and gals are just, like, practicing?
I don't know.
That
I
sounds
think it's
terrible.
like full sponsorship base. Like if you can get the sponsorships,
Okay, that makes sense.
you could probably make. You go to the Nationals, or Adidas might sponsor a track meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have those there. So, like, that's just very limited knowledge. Don't take that to the bank, but I'm pretty sure like that it's like not like a professional league, but like there's just
Yeah, they
different-
don't have, like, the
sounds reasonable.
NTL or anything,
Yeah.
but
Like, oh, this is whatever championships brought to you by Puma.
Yeah.
And so, you win there. It's kind of like golf.
Yeah.
Like they have these sponsored,
the tour.
yeah. And so the sponsorships pay based on like the rankings and seating that you come in. Okay,
That
so
makes sense.
I will. I mean, gosh, there's so many fucking Bob moments. But again, just trying to keep it like, a little light. But I will say that also in the 5th grade, I remember that we were in my room, and it's very corny here, but just want to get a little light moment
Yeah.
and shit. And I remember Brendan Butler was also there, and
Shouts
we
to
all
Brendan.
kind of made one of those pacts like, hey, we're going to remain the greatest of friends forever. And, in 5th grade, you say that shit
Right.
a lot, and you don't really ever think that kind of pact would come true. But here we are. He's, going to be 33 next week. He's getting married, and, he's still one of the greatest friends I could ever
Yeah,
ask for.
man.
So pretty fucking cool how that comes full circle.
I think conversely, like, when you make a pack like that and you're in 5th grade, like, you do think it's going to last forever. And then, like, I still talk to a couple guys I went to high school with, but that's it.
Yeah.
And it's, I assumed that we would just be tight forever.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way we won't be.
So I do feel very lucky in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fucking cool. And like you said, we all kind of do that kind of shit. Like, hey, this is going to be forever.
Yeah.
And here we are, no longer co-hosting a show together, but it has been a hell of a fucking
Yeah,
run.
good thing the friendship was deeper than a podcast.
Right.
Speak for yourself.
He's like, well,
No, but I mean, we're all looking forward to the wedding,
yeah, man, for sure.
and we're gonna have to just make. Bob can't smoke his first joint until midnight.
Yeah.
At least, yeah. We might want to hit him with that Stephen A. for the wedding.
I don't think we can do a podcast that night because
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, they got to
maybe Jay will want to
consummate. This has been an ongoing conversation this weekend. We won't get too into it, but Jamie's looking forward to it. Shout out, Jamie. We love you.
Oh man, can you imagine if fucking Bob's just sleeping on a chair at 11:30 on his wedding
night.
She's
Just
like,
went too hard in the paint, man.
She's like, Bob, I just need you to start, and we can really rally. He just thumbs down.
He did give us a thumbs down at one point tonight. We were trying to peer pressure him into this, and he's like, just big thumbs. He gave us 2 thumbs down and then like gang signs for a little bit, which was something.
Kind of cryptic.
Yeah, we weren't sure what we were getting out of that.
Are you helping or not?
Right, like, are we doing this? And then we just decided, yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah. So we don't need Bob.
We rallied like super hard. Like Nick said, we were kind of down there after the Blues game. On the drive home, we hit QT, grabbed some caffeine, and here we are, man.
One of the reasons we were down, check out this segue, was because we had to walk.
Oh, brother.
So much to and from the game.
A professional already.
Oh, my God.
And why do we have to segue?
What if we would have had segues? We'd
That
have probably
would've
been
been
in
nice.
like great shape, yeah.
One of my favorite facts is that the inventor of the Segway died by his Segway fell off a cliff.
Oh, what?
I don't know if it was on purpose or not, so I don't know if that's
that
actually
real?
funny. Yeah.
Oh, man, it would actually, like, as dark as it is to say, it would actually be way funnier if he meant it. Like, what have I wrought upon this world? And just segues off a cliff.
Like the guy that invented K-Cups is like, my bad plan.
Yeah, like, oops.
I did not realize we were going to be buried in a sea of K-Cups. I was just trying to give you
Just trying to make your life a little
single-serve
easier, yeah.
coffee.
And
I didn't know it would lead to the extinction of the planet.
kind of stepped in it. Sorry, fellas.
Yeah, it's tough. What can you do?
Yeah.
So we got the Cybergs like we illustrated earlier, and we fucking feasted.
We demolished way too much food.
Extra.
40.
We ordered a 40-piece wing, a pizza. I mean, it was 6 of us.
But we burned through it like 20 minutes.
Ran through it, yeah.
So we made it out 20 minutes before the puck drop. We're only a few blocks down. Shuttle's about to come.
Shuttle's ready.
And storming Norman. He needs to storm one last
Yeah,
time.
he's again, at this point, we think he was probably already blacked out. So he went back in for one more round.
We were the first ones waiting for the shuttle.
Yeah,
outside.
we were, yeah. We had it planned out perfectly.
He runs in to get another pitcher of beer.
Yeah.
As the shuttle's pulling up.
Right.
Bob at this point runs in after him, and we blame Bob.
Yeah,
Like,
we
the
did.
shuttles-
We didn't realize Norman had. I didn't, anyways. I thought it was Bob. I was a classic Bob.
I knew Bob was going in there for Norm, but I was also blaming Bob. And yeah, so he's in there trying to corral Norm, and the shuttle is filling up with all these, like, you know that SpongeBob episode where everybody's getting on those like fucking red buses.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
You know, that's what it was, filling up, packed like sardines, and they come out with smiles on their faces and 5 beers. Shuttle leaves, and we now have to walk to the Blues game.
Yeah, but it's okay because we had Bush Light for the walk.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so by the time we get there, the Blackhawks were up 2-0.
Man, I thought it was. I thought it was my time. I've not witnessed a Blackhawks win against the Blues in my life, which is tough.
Well,
Tonight wasn't it either.
and then we walked back.
Yeah, that one felt much shorter.
It did feel shorter going back
more
for some
prepared.
reason. Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean that's kind of why we were so tired and had to rally. I mean,
Yeah.
we were walking back to the back to the Cybergs, and Brady and Norm about 200 paces behind. We need somebody.
Yeah, we got caught up at a light, but we bonded. Me and Norm did. That was a good talk. Good little walk we had. But
Bob ran across just active traffic for no real reason.
presumably everyone that listens to this podcast knows Bob.
Yeah.
And it's 0% a surprise to me that we ended up having to walk like 2 miles tonight because that's just classic Bob activities. He'll be like, hey, there's this place. It's right down the street. We can walk there. It's going to be fine. And it's like a 45-minute walk without fail every time.
Yeah, and speaking of one of Bob's escapades, I kind of want to revisit the story that we were telling upstairs of when Matt, Bob, and I went to Denver.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get into this.
And especially because, you know, Bob has a way of just painting these pictures like they're so light. But
Bob's life was in actual danger, from what I can gather.
Some people call that lying.
You know, like a liar.
Matt, do you want to paint? You want to set this up and I can jump in?
Sure. I don't know what year it was, so
the year was 1974.
Yep.
It was like it was 2018.
2018. But yeah, no, we drove to Denver, Colorado, straight through the night. We got to Denver at like 6 in the morning or something. Yeah. But another fun, I guess, Bob, even though Mount Rushmore is only 4 heads and we're on like 12 at this point, but he wanted to smoke a joint, but we were in Kansas, and I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go to jail in Kansas
jail for having half a gram of weed in my car. So the rule was that he had to wait till we passed the Colorado border, which we did at like 4 in the morning. Like that weird time where like the sun kind of is coming up, like it's lighter, but the sun's still not there. And he asked if I would put on some fucking Rush song. I don't know them very well. And so I turned it all the way up for him, and then he smoked his joint, and then he was happy. but yeah, so we drove to Denver, and
was this just like a spur of the moment kind of thing, or did you guys kind of
like it was fairly spur of the
was
moment?
It?
Yeah,
spur of the moment is a 16-hour drive.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was probably like only a week and
prep.
a half planned.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we all can get
We
off.
should go to Denver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what like the national park was called. I mean, it's like super famous. I should probably just know.
Is it Red? No, that's the concert venue.
While Matt's looking for that, I'll just paint. I remember there being
Rocky Mountain National Park. Makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks. That feels right.
We were at Rocky Mountain National Park, where there is a river that runs through this park. And you can jump in whenever, but I'll just continue talking.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, early on, Bob was showing signs of bobbing, you know.
Yeah, because there's one point on the trip he bought a joint of what the dispensary is calling moon rocks.
Moon rocks,
so it was
yeah.
a joint that was then dipped in hash oil that was then rolled in keef. And it was like $20 for the whole joint. And like weed is like preposterously cheap in Denver. So like
is it really?
Yeah. So 20 was like actually like fairly significant.
Yeah.
And Bob wanted to like take a couple hits, and then he's like, I'm gonna save the rest to like smoke with my dad when we get home. And me and Nick convinced him to smoke the whole thing.
Fucking fantastic friends.
Yeah. I mean, it was more fun for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know where the story was going, to be completely honest.
I do, because you mentioned the river.
Yeah.
To hear Bob's telling of the story earlier, he's like, yeah, we crossed some creek.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Matt pulls up pictures of, like, white water rapids.
Yeah.
That was
With like a 20-foot waterfall.
Yeah. That is not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you could see those photos prior to
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, he like crossed it. And like he acts like we're being crazy, but there were like strangers that were genuinely concerned for Bob there. They're like, he needs to get down from there. And we're like, I don't know what to tell
we
you.
can't
tried
control
telling him the
this
same
man.
thing,
Yeah.
lady. He doesn't want to get down.
Yeah, so like, cause like prior to this, and when I was saying Bob was showing early signs of bobbing, you had you couldn't even really walk across these rapids to a certain point. No. So Bob finds this rock and he's like stands up in the middle of these rapids.
Yeah, he said it was a stepping stone. No, Bob, that was a rock.
Yeah.
Which he used that and then other stepping stones to get across this. At which point, everybody's telling him do not do that.
Please stop this.
Literally,
I imagine
strangers pointing at Bob like children and shit. I'm like, who's that
Even
guy?
children are like, yo, chill.
Bob's 26.
Fucking relax.
2018, so Bob was 26 at this point.
Meanwhile, Nick and I are looking up how much fucking funerals cost.
In Colorado.
Yeah, because shortly after this, we just lost him. We lost sight of him.
Yeah, he was gone. That's true.
And
Forgot
so
to tell that part earlier.
yeah. So Matt and I are like, what the we could not find him. He went across these rapids. Everything, like we said, everybody's telling him no, please don't do this. Then he walks out of view, and we're like, fuck, couldn't find him. Matt and I go walking. We're all at this point, and Bob's underplaying this. There's at least 7 or 8 different people yelling his name. We're trying to find him, and Matt and I are like, holy shit! We're gonna have to call Jeff, his dad, and tell him Bob's fucking dead.
Yeah, Bob's gone.
And he smoked all of your mid-rocks joint.
yeah. He was going to share that with you, but
It's a real lose-lose.
sorry, Jeff.
No.
Tough break, buddy.
But lo and behold, fast forward 20 minutes later, it felt like 2 hours.
Oh, I'm sure it felt like an eternity. Yeah. Fucking guy.
And because we keep walking down, the rapids to where this 20-foot waterfall that Matt was talking about is, and all of a sudden you hear Bob, hey!
Nothing fucking happened. He's just having the time of his goddamn life.
And the only thing now in between Matt and I and Bob is this fucking waterfall that drops 20 feet.
Do you guys know how Bob got across?
Nick had to lean over.
Yeah.
Get him.
So there was, I think you were holding my arm along with another
formed
stranger.
some sort of chain.
Oh, shit.
Yes, and I had to lean across, and he had to go to one of his stepping stones, and literally reach on and grab my arm, and I had to pull him. And we were just asking him upstairs what was going through his mind, and he acknowledged at that point that he could have
Maybe
fell.
a little crazy. Yeah.
But he said, what did he say? You can't think of the consequences. You just got to act.
He did say that.
If he did that in 5th grade, we'd be inviting his 18-year-old kid to his bachelor party. No, 20. He'd be 20.
Dang.
So he was better at thinking about consequences when he was 12 than he was at 26.
Lay off the weed.
Another fun one that you guys brought up was Bob nearly dying in the Red Stadium from trying to slide down banisters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was prior to his Tokyo Kitty performance.
On the way to.
Yeah. It's outside the Red Stadium, it's just a set of stairs that goes the entire height of the stadium. It's multiple stories of stairs, and he was just sliding down the rail and just full on fell off at one point. He caught himself. He looked like a sloth on a tree branch, caught himself under it, from what I remember.
And again, strangers are pointing out to him the danger of this.
Hey, you're gonna die.
If he didn't catch himself, he's fallen 2 flights.
Parents showing their kids, don't do that.
Yeah.
that man is a bad example.
And at this point, he's 30.
Yeah. So 4 years.
What can you say,
Didn't help
man?
much.
It's, I'm not saying he's proving John right one day at a time, but
But he's certainly not proved him wrong.
I don't know if that guy listens to this, nor do I think he would remember me if he does listen to this, but I just want to give a hearty fuck you to John Rennick. Just on the record. I want to go for it. Met the guy 3 times, prick. Every time.
Dang.
So
Okay.
I'm just going to go on the record with it.
hey, that's fair.
If this makes it out to the public,
Right.
reiterate, fuck John Rennick.
Tell your truths.
Yeah, man. Got to.
And this is a no editing podcast.
Yeah,
We
we're not
encourage
editing
that,
shit,
dude.
yeah.
And fuck British Steve.
Also, fuck British Steve. Yeah. What a guy.
Gosh damn.
Man. Our Bob, again,
Yeah.
very protective. I don't know why. Bob can handle himself, but
Yeah.
it's our friend. Fuck these dudes.
All in all, yeah, like, I mean, there's so countless stories, because what I can say is, like, we can all agree on that Bob is just walking like he's Bob to the fullest. He is himself.
Yeah, Bob is one of like 5 people I've ever met in my life that puts on like zero airs about shit. He is who he is completely.
Oh, gosh, the cigar story.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Is that one he once on this?
I think he would reiterate. I feel very confident that this is one that he'd say, yeah, like he would
Really?
go, yes.
Yeah. All right. I have to pee again. Sorry.
Okay, so
I know
there's
it's unprofessional bullshit.
Give you one shot to host this shit.
So there's a have you heard of Jungle Gyms? Like it's like the store?
No.
So Cincinnati has this just mammoth liquor / grocery store, like biggest store I've ever seen. That Matt's been hyping up for years. Like, you got to see Jungle Gyms when we go to Cincinnati. And truly, it is the biggest liquor store I've ever seen. Like, in the same liquor store, there's like, we had purchased kangaroo burgers and ostrich eggs for breakfast that we did cook that same weekend.
How was that?
Dude, good.
What's kangaroo meat like?
It was good.
I think I've had an ostrich egg.
Very lean. Like
Kind of like venison type.
Yeah, but it was very tasty.
That makes sense because those dudes are buff as shit.
Yeah, Matt's future, well, now current brother-in-law was the one who cooked it, and he killed it for like probably not being familiar with.
Right, yeah. I mean, how many times have you cooked kangaroo in your life?
Yeah, but it was phenomenal. Also, it was a very drunken weekend, so that kind of ups.
The experience is heightened.
So if you go out and cook yourself a kangaroo burger with an ostrich egg, and it's not all that, like, we were hammered.
Yeah, you got to get in the right frame for this.
But for the state of mind I was in,
good as shit, huh?
Dude, it was. And shout out to Andrew because he nailed that. So, anyways, the first thing we do when we get to Cincinnati is go to this Jungle Gyms. Mind you, Bob, it's funny because we Bob only, I think, knew me, Matt, and Matt's friend John prior to this. But me, Matt, and John rode separately, and Bob rode with like the 3 strangers that he had not met yet, which is
classic Bob. Yeah,
which is like you
and then
said
he was
earlier.
friends with them by the time they got out of the car for sure.
100%. Because like you said, like if anybody was going to be in that situation, he would thrive in it.
Yeah.
Where like I just told you earlier,
I would fucking clam up so fast. I would speak the whole time. But
me and you both. But so we get to Jungle Gyms and we're all like, oh, let's check out this cigar shop that's in this grocery store. And we get in there, mind you, it's like mainly a bunch of people that Bob had just met, me, Matt, and John. And we're all looking at cigars. And next thing you know, Bob has this big-ass cigar in his hands, and he asked the cigar shop worker, he says, hey, do you think I could fit this thing in my ass? And I am like beat red at this point. Like I had to leave it, but he was, Bob just owned it. He was like, what?
Bob, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you're the weird one.
You're making this weird.
But yeah, he had picked up the cigar and asked,
do you think he could have?
I mean, could he fit himself in himself?
That's the question.
That was the cigar we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was the Kraken of
Your
cigars.
hog leg.
Yeah. So, I mean, and also, like, how can we mention, with me and you on a podcast talking about an ode to Bob, how can we not mention his original Twitter account?
Man. Just comedic gold on that thing. It probably didn't age super well.
Oh, no. Don't. We won't.
We would, rather you not go back and look.
We won't mention the Twitter handle.
Yeah. But, man, we had some fun with that one. I think Bob had fun with it too.
Yeah,
he enjoyed it.
The story behind that is like, Twitter's booming. It's off and running. It's like 2011, 2012. Like Twitter at this point is full legs.
Huge, yeah.
And he refused to get a Twitter. So Brady and I took it upon ourselves to get, because, I mean, how can Bob not have a Twitter? He's fucking Bob.
He's Bob, yeah.
So we just took the liberty to write, I don't want to say that's a parody. I think we were just representing Bob as best as we saw fit.
Yeah.
And, that actually caught some legs.
It really did. It had the people going there for a while.
I mean,
We were running with it.
Again,
I think it had more followers than like my Twitter did.
Mine as
for
well.
sure.
Yeah, I remember like former students at the Berg and shit. Like they were all like sharing stuff,
Yeah.
and it ended up, with it getting not huge, but with like in our circles popular.
Right.
Like, then people wanted in, and then that kind of
It kind of was the downfall of it when more people got involved. But
hell. But I mean, how can we do the
we
old
can't keep Bob to ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. So
He's a man of the people.
he is. But that was a great time. That was great early memories with you,
Yeah.
Bob and I. Which I feel like I said earlier, there's so many, but you don't know.
Right. Speaking of Duberg, I've always kind of wondered, like, because I met Bob post high school. Like, what's high school Bob Menigman?
Oh,
Hasn't really changed much.
no, just like in his own. It's the evolution of Bob.
Yeah,
but it's
just his
always
own
been
lane
Cavalier Experience freshman class. He gets in there. Cavalier Experience was like for freshman students, for us to all kind of get to know each other. And
How
know-
big was your school? I guess that's a question that
our
I
class?
have.
Probably was like 100.
Okay, so not like
something.
crazy, but yeah, I got you.
No, I want to say like 160.
Okay.
So, and these Cavalier Experiences broken into like 30 group sessions. But we get into our Cavalier Experience. We're all supposed to say our name and say something about us. And he introduces himself as, I'm Bob Minnickman, like Mo Nig Man, more man than you'll ever be. And this is a 15-year-old Bob. And that's how he introduced himself to his brand new peers. And just throughout that, oh man, I gotta tell this one because it's hilarious. And Coach Sweeney would find it funny.
Shout out Coach Sweeney. Hope you listen.
Yeah, this is so. Coach Sweeney was a black man, and me and Bob were both like very close to him.
Yeah.
And he's also our PE teacher and our football coach. So he's talking to me and Bob after one of the classes, and Bob was like, "Hey, Coach, no offense, but you ever notice that like black people's names just take a regular name and put the in front of it?" And Coach said, he said, "Yeah, Bob." He said, "My name's Latori." And that was one of the only times I've ever seen Bob just humiliate. He was so apologetic.
Oh, Bob.
And it didn't change his relationship at all with Coach Sweeney.
That's
Like,
good.
Coach just
Yeah,
knew.
good
Like,
dude.
it's
Yeah, he
just
knew that was
classic
Bob. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was so fucking funny.
Bob.
Also, he was awake when I was upstairs
Was he?
a second ago. Yeah.
Are we going to get an appearance?
Oh, I hear
Here?
some clattering.
We
Hey!
no.
He said no.
He said, nah, fuck you guys,
Why?
actually. Bob's heading to bed. Everybody say goodnight, Bob.
Good night,
Good night, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
You're gonna be posting this in the morning.
Love you.
Hey, love you, Bob.
Yeah. Bob's singing some emo shit on the way to bed. Classic.
So,
He was up there in the chair. He was like so stiff. that
Oh,
he
dude, I'm
looked
so
like-
glad. Like, if we would have went up and after this and he would have still been in the chair, we'd have had to
He
get him
looks
out
like
of
a
there.
wax figure of Bob. It's kind of unsettling, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm glad he's up because he would have been in shambles in the morning.
but is this a good as Bob goes to bed? Is it? Do you think? This
I
is a
think,
good
yeah, we put
stopping
this to
point?
bed. Yeah, I
Is
think
that-
that's only
How
natural.
long is it?
I think we're running close to an hour, I imagine.
You want to keep going?
Oh, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to keep.
I mean,
up
we could talk about-
appearances in the absence of Bob.
We could talk about Bob all night.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sure.
we really could.
no problem.
The first 7-hour episode.
What a marathon! Oh, yes.
We go outside and it's light out. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like my dad uses this podcast as IQ and Brant. Both said that they use it to drive to work and drive back.
I do too.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I would like to see like how many drive force and back.
It's like Jamie was asking me and Matt about listening to it, and I think the best thing that you could say about it's like it feels like just hanging out with you guys, which is cool because we're both like away.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fucking dope that you guys finally pulled the trigger on this thing.
I have a fucking blast doing it, man.
I imagine.
Like I said, and I going to the New Year's resolutions episode, I did say I really want to take this seriously, and we've been hitting it once a week, and I want to get video and editing. But that being said, if I did it and there never grew more than 9 listeners, I would want to do this like for years, just because it's something I love doing.
Hell yeah.
I think he feels the same way. Contrary to his actions tonight, I think he does love doing it.
No, yeah, I think the fact that he didn't come down here tonight just shows you what kind of fucking shape he was in.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think he would miss this if he
did
wasn't.
turn on all of this shit. So
He was fully
contributed.
Yeah. Fully prepared to come down here and do this tonight. But
there's multiple things that I can't even tell you what they're there for.
the bachelor party got him.
But what a fucking ass!
What a guy!
No,
You're like, what a dick.
I'm surprised that you haven't. I mean, Brady, after a full day of drinking, has not stopped one time to pee. And I'm sitting there thinking,
No, I peed a couple times. Yeah, I got it in at Cyberg's, and then I came back here. I actually showered because that's my the caffeine plus shower. That's what got me back on my feet.
Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
I hit the bathroom before I showered, brushed my teeth, and then immediately drank a beer like an idiot. That was gross.
Yeah, bad tasted.
Yeah, it was not good. Yeah. So I'm going to brush my teeth again. But,
hell yeah.
yeah, whatever, man.
So,
Cool.
anything,
I don't think
Any
so.
parting words?
to Bob and Jamie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely. One of the things I will share this before we go. When I was walking with, gosh dang it, I'm forgetting this man's name already, and I feel terrible.
Storm and Norman.
Storm and Norman, yeah. I was walking back with Norman. You guys took off on us. I'm fat. I think he's a little older. So we were lagging behind a little bit, and then we got caught up at a light, so then we were way behind. So we were just bonding the whole time. We were just talking, and he was like super full of praise for Bob, like, because I guess he goes back with Jamie a ways, and he's so happy that she found Bob and Bob found her. So
Nice.
speaks again to the man that Bob Menigman is, more man than we'll ever be.
That's true.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It can't
If
have
the rumors are true.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
rumors.
I'm, never,
It's less of a rumor
never
than-
seen it with my own 2 eyes.
But on that note,
Yeah, play us out.
Play on my phone.